Waves and Optics, Session 5. Forced vibrations. In the previous class, we derived a differential equation for damped vibrations. That is d square x by dt square plus 2r times dx by dt plus k square x is equal to 0. Let's consider this as equation 1, where r indicates the resistance of the system to displacement and k indicates the stiffness of the system to displacement, and found a solution for the instantaneous displacement of the vibrating particle. And in this session, let's derive an equation for a vibrating particle driven by an externally applied sinusoidal force that would keep the particle in a state of sustained oscillation. And let's find out a complete solution to describe the instantaneous displacement x of the force vibrated particle. Setting up of an equation. Let an external driving force required for sustained oscillation be F0 sine of omega t. Let R be the system resistance to displacement, that is R is directly proportional to dx by dt. Let S be the system stiffness to displacement, that is S is directly proportional to x. Let F is equal to m times d square x by dt square be the net force acting on the system under equilibrium. This means m times d square x by dt square is equal to F0 times sine of omega t minus r times dx by dt minus sx. Rearranging and simplifying, we get d square x by dt square plus 2r times dx by dt plus omega naught square times x is equal to F0 sine of omega t. Let's consider this as equation 2, where r is equal to r by 2m, omega naught is equal to square root of s by m, and F0 is equal to capital F0 by m. Writing equation 2 in the form of an equation in terms of differential operator, that is d is equal to d by dt, we get d square plus 2rd plus omega naught square times x is equal to F0 times sine of omega t. Let's consider this as equation 3. This is a standard operator equation for which the solution for the displacement x is given by x is equal to x1 plus x2. Let's consider this as equation 4, where x is the common or homogeneous part of x and x2 is a particular part of x, the solution for homogeneous part. x1 is a solution such that d square plus 2rd plus omega naught square times x1 is equal to 0. Let's consider this as equation 5. This implies that x1 must be of the form x1 is equal to e to the power minus rt times a plus b times cos qt plus I of a minus b times sin qt. This is also equal to c0 times e to the power minus rt sin of qt plus phi. Let's consider this as equation 6, where q is equal to square root of omega naught square minus r square. A and b are some arbitrary constants such that a plus b is equal to c0 sin phi and I times a minus b is equal to c0 cos phi. Let's consider this as equation 7. In equation 6, phi and c0 are the phase and amplitude of x1. These are given by phi is equal to tan inverse of a by a plus b divided by I times a minus b, which is equal to tan inverse of minus I times a plus b divided by a minus b. Let's consider this as equation 8. C0 is equal to square root of a plus b whole square plus I square times a minus b whole square. Therefore, C0 is equal to square root of 4ab, which reduces to 2 times square root of ab. Let's consider this as equation 9. Now let's find the solution for the particular part. The particular solution x2 to equation 3 is of the form x2 is equal to b sine of omega t minus xi. Let's consider this as equation 10, where psi and b are the phase and amplitude of x2 at any time t. Omega is the angular frequency of x2. Xi and b are given by psi is equal to tan inverse of 2r omega divided by omega naught square minus omega square. Let's consider this as equation 11. Therefore, b is equal to f naught divided by omega naught square minus omega square whole square plus 4r square omega square whole to the power 1 by 2. Let's consider this as equation 12. Now, finding the complete solution for x, we know that x is equal to x1 plus x2. Thus, the complete solution x is now given by x is equal to c naught e to the power minus rt sine of qt plus phi plus b sine of omega t minus xi. Let's consider this as equation 13, where phi, c naught, xi and b are given by equations 8, 9, 11 and 12 respectively. Further details of equation 13 and the consequent implications will be discussed in the next session. Hope you have understood this concept. Thank you.